Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm coming back to you with part 1B in my podcast series entitled Pulpit Perverts, wherein I will analyze the second lawsuit filed against Pastor Ralph West, the second campus minister of the Church Without Walls in Houston, Texas, who was found liable on October the 11th, 2023 by a jury for giving herpes to another woman, victim number 1, who was awarded over $2 million in the first lawsuit.
Keith Daniela, that attorney we spoke to, says it was a 3-day trial with 6.5 hours of deliberations. And after that, a jury found Reverend Ralph D. West II liable and ordered that hefty judgment.
Right, it can't fix it. She's got it for the rest of her life.
Attorney Sean Murphy is speaking for his client, who a jury found contracted genital herpes from Reverend Ralph D. West II after meeting off Facebook. As seen here on the Church Without Walls website, he's listed as the Eldridge campus minister.
Now, in part 1A, I analyzed the lawsuit filed by victim number 1, who described herself as a model and entrepreneur who provides consulting services to businesses in the fashion industry and to ministries helping with video and production services, and that she was a resident of Louisiana. Now, the litigation surrounding the lawsuit for victim number 1 ended in a jury trial that began on October the 4th, 2023 and ended on October the 11th, 2023 with a verdict in favor of the plaintiff, victim number 1, awarding her over $2 million. Thereafter, on November the 8th, 2023, another woman, victim number 2, came forward with similar allegations, filing yet another lawsuit against Minister Ralph West II, in which she states, quote, "I met Minister West in 2018 as our children were in the same class at school." Now, victim number 2's divorce was finalized in February of 2019, and she and Minister West began communicating over the telephone on or about April of 2019. Victim number 2 and Minister West became close because of their situations with their kids and their former spouses. In June of 2019, victim number 2 and Minister West went on their first date and shortly thereafter had sexual relations for the first time. When victim number 2 and Minister West had sex, it was always protected until they discussed being in a committed relationship. Before the first time they had unprotected sex, victim number 2 informed Minister West that she had her annual pap smear results and that she had come back clean. Minister West told victim number 2 that he had also been checked out and was clean as well. Now, during their relationship, victim number 2 and Minister West were intimate at least once a week on average. Now, in August of 2019, Minister West went on a trip with his church to Africa. And when Minister West returned from his trip, the parties had sexual relations in celebration. And on or about October of 2019, victim number 2 began having symptoms of extreme pain in her genitals, which were swollen and looked like there were cuts. Now, victim number 2 thought she was having an allergic reaction to Minister West due to his trip abroad and began taking an over-the-counter allergy pill. The symptoms subsided and victim number 2 did not think much further of it. Victim number 2 and Minister West continued their relationship until February of 2020 when it ended. Though their relationship ended, they continued talking as friends beginning in March of 2020. On October the 7th, 2020, victim number 2 went on her annual Well Woman exam, where she received an STD test. The results were received on October the 12th, 2020, indicating that she tested positive for herpes simplex 2, aka genital herpes. On October the 13th, 2020, the plaintiff informed Minister West of the results but did not receive any response. On October the 17th, 2020, victim number 2 contacted Minister West to figure out why she had yet to receive a response from her previous message informing him of the positive test results. On October the 18th, 2020, victim number 2 contacted Minister West again and informed him that her love life was over. Then, Minister West finally responded to tell victim number 2 that her love life was not over. Now, victim number 2 and Minister West had limited interactions after that, but remained ostensibly friends. On October the 11th, 2023, victim number 2 discovered that Minister West had a judgment granted against him for knowingly transmitting herpes to victim number 1. And it was at this point that victim number 2 figured out that it was Minister West who had given her herpes. And as of the date of the filing of this lawsuit, Minister West still has not admitted to giving victim number 2 herpes. End quote. Now, victim number 2's lawsuit was almost an exact copy of victim number 1's lawsuit, and victim number 2 likewise sued Minister West under the civil legal theories of battery, aka infliction of bodily injury, intentional infliction of emotional distress, fraud through intentional concealment, and fraud through intentional misrepresentation. And likewise, in the same manner as victim number 1, victim number 2 is also seeking monetary relief in the amount of over $1 million. As reflected in this return of service filed with the court on December the 26th, 2023, Minister West was served with victim number 2's lawsuit on December the 13th, 2023 at 7:29 p.m. The process server also filed this photograph of the house with the return of service that is on file. Now, as you know, I will keep you advised of any developments that take place in this case unless the parties settle and enter into a confidential settlement agreement. But I want to go back to this part of victim number 2's factual statement wherein she states, quote, victim number 2 and Minister West became close because of their situation with their kids and their former spouses, end quote. Now, when she uses the word former spouses, obviously that got my eyebrow raised, and it got me to wondering if I could find a divorce on file for Minister West. But as you can see from this case list, there is no divorce on file for him. Notwithstanding, I did find this case on the case list, which is what we call in Texas law a sapture case, aka a suit affecting the parent-child relationship case, which was really, in my opinion, an attempt on Minister West's part to try to dominate the issue of the amount of child support he would have to pay. But as you will see throughout this podcast episode series, it was completely bungled by him and his attorney. Number one, because he tries to mask his true identity, I guess so the case would not find its way on the gossip blogs. And yet, here we are. Oh, but anyway, y'all, let me stay focused, because as you can see here in the title of his own lawsuit that he brings against this woman, the mother of his child, he first tries to mask his identity by using the name Ralph West without correctly identifying himself as Ralph D. West II or Ralph Douglas West II. Now, as you know, the facts of victim number one's lawsuit indicates that, quote, after accepting proof that plaintiff had tested negative for genital herpes in the past and had not had any sexual relations with any other individual for at least 2 years prior to meeting Minister West, he went ahead and admitted to her that he knew he had genital herpes before meeting her and that he had been infected by the mother of his son, end quote. And since I don't know if this is true or not, I am going to redact the child's mother's name in all of the documents that you'll see here in this podcast series. But since he was using the name Ralph West, that meant that I needed to dig a little further. So I pulled the lawsuit to see if there was any other identifying proof that this related to Minister West, because in family law lawsuits, you kind of have to provide certain identifying information for child support reasons, for example. And when you read Minister West's Sapshire lawsuit, his attorney states, quote, "This suit is brought by Ralph West, petitioner. The last 3 numbers of Ralph West's driver's license number are 076. Ralph West has not been issued a social security number," end quote. Okay. So when I read this, I was like, what now? I mean, now how can this be true? Is he an undocumented immigrant or something? And it left me thinking that this case was not related to Minister West. But I think y'all know me better than that, ladies and gentlemen of this church house jury. So this inspired me to dig a little further, as I am known to do. And when I saw this intervention, it led me immediately to believe that it was filed by the Attorney General's Child Support Division. And as you can see, it was in fact filed by the Attorney General's Child Support Division. And as you can also see, they identify him as Ralph D. West. And they also identify the child as Ralph Douglas West III. So this is now enough for me to confirm that this is in fact Minister West. And not to jump ahead, but at some point, the court did enter a final judgment regarding child custody and child support for the child. And this is why I say that Minister West and his attorney's efforts to mask his identity caused him to bungle this case. Because later in the case, it was necessary for Minister West, with the assistance of another attorney, to file a motion for new trial when it was revealed that, quote, the correct name of the petitioner, Minister West, is Ralph D. West II. The agreed order, aka the judgment signed on March the 17th, 2017, incorrectly names the grandfather of the child, i.e. the senior pastor of the Church Without Walls, Ralph D. West, as a joint managing conservator, in other words, a co-parent of the child, and orders him, the grandfather, the senior pastor, to pay child support and provide medical insurance for the child. Lord have mercy in the blessed name of Jesus, y'all. I really feel sorry for Pastor West, but I will untangle this mess when I come back in part C of this podcast series. But in the meantime, what do you think about this man, Minister West II? Why do you think this child has so much drama in his life? I mean, do you think he is a pure D mess or what? And do you think there are yet other women out there who he gave herpes to? I mean, why would a person who knows he has herpes have unprotected sexual relations with other people and actually encourage them to have unprotected sexual relations with him? Allegedly. Please let me know what you think by leaving your comments in the comments section below. And I hope you'll also give me a big thumbs up. And I hope you'll also consider donating to this video and my entire channel ministry by donating to the ProfessorBlackmore.com Cash App. And I want to also ask that you please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I come back with more hot tea from the courthouse, the church house, and everywhere else. And whenever I come back with part 1C, so you can find out how the grandfather, senior pastor of the Church Without Walls, Ralph D. West, got tangled up in this mess, and why I think he might likely also get tangled up in lawsuit number 1 filed by victim number 1. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.